JLX is my artist signature, but you can call me Jenny Links, and oh my gosh, guys. It has been rough going for a little bit for me. I have access to none of my usual supplies, but I'm going to attempt to give you a project overview for the coming year anyways. In the meantime, enjoy me coloring some random adult coloring book pages. So, when I say let's go over what projects I have planned for this year, I have to preface this with I've since moved house. So half of my supplies are packed up and labeled incorrectly, so I have no idea where they are. But also, if any of you have ever moved before, you know that stuff breaks. And my grandpa used to have this saying where 5 moves equals a fire, and that's pertaining to property damage. If you move 5 times, that is the equivalent in property damage to a house fire, and it's been rough. Here are a couple of pictures of some of the damages that sustained during the move, and some of these are going to be future projects. Others are going to be recycled into new things. So, obviously I can't recycle a countertop, well, a full counter, but I can make something to go over the water damaged areas. If you must know why there's water damage there in this house we moved into, it's because we had rented this house out for 8 years or so, and the person who rented it had a dog, and that's where the water dish was. And if you've met any dog ever, you know that they can be a little excited when they drink water, at least. So that's going to be one of the repairs in the future that I'm hoping to capture, because I'm going to make a carved piece of wood trim to cover up the damaged areas, since we can't replace the whole counter. As for this desk, as you can see, it is no longer structurally sound, and while I suppose it is still repairable, this is also a children's desk. It is too short for me now. It still has a lot of good parts and bits, and I'd love to reuse some of them and make something new out of them. But as far as keeping it as it is, I probably won't. It's just too short, too small, so who knows what it'll become. That being said, if you eagle-eyed people were looking closely, you'll notice that I have something titled Repair Bucket. I have a laundry basket that needs some repairs that was given to me by my mother, full of other things that could be repaired, that could be made into a future video someday. So keep your eye out for those. Maybe I'll make it a little series where we just pull a project from the repair bucket and work on it. The desktop that I'm coloring on right now is also in need of some TLC, because although it is a wonderful and beautiful white desk, it's not going to stay white in my possession very long. Not just because I don't like white furniture, because I don't, but because my furniture tends to take surface damage because of all of my projects. It's already taken some, thanks to having spilled just a tiny drop of acetone on it. It's just inevitable, so I'm hoping to sand it down and at least repaint the top sometime. I have a couple of pattern mock-ups, a couple ideas floating around and bouncing around in my skull that I've written down for it. Trying to decide which one I'm going to go forth with, but that's going to be a bit of a bigger project than something from like the repair bucket, so I'm going to have to properly plan that one out before I could get to it. However, if there is an illustration you think that would be really cool to have as like a desktop, pop it in the comments. I'll add it to the list of which we could consider for this desktop. That being said, this is not my drafting table. My drafting table is still here, still in good condition, and will probably be the surface we do a lot of coming projects on and a lot of repair projects on. The drafting table is not something that needs to be repainted. It's in perfect condition, so I will not be repainting the drafting table. Besides, it's not mine, technically. Can't repaint something if it's not technically yours. That being said, I am really excited about the coming projects this year, because I do love repairing and reusing anything, I don't like throwing anything away if I can help it, you know, the whole save the planet business, but also because I'm cheap. I like to get the most out of my items and projects. Plus, you have an endless stream of entertainment and an endless stream of things to do. You can never get bored, because there's always something to do if you keep everything. Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year. Year of the Rabbit. Thanks for sticking around.